He's pretty mentally weak in the ring. You know, as soon as things don't start going his way,
Yeah.
he starts to crumble, and things aren't going to go his way. So I think he's going to crumble.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your gloves, because what just went down in Jake Paul's training camp makes Rocky Balboa look like a yoga session. I'm talking about Gervonta Tank Davis stepping into that ring like he's auditioning for World War III and Jake Paul. Oh, Jake looked like he just saw his influencer career flash before his eyes. The internet's already calling it the spar that shook the sport. And trust me, this wasn't sparring. This was straight-up combat disguised as cardio. Picture it. Cameras rolling, fans chanting, egos bigger than the ring itself.
Business and say the other person's gonna win. I like it.
So when
it makes it fun.
When he lay your boy out, you know what I mean?
He's my boy too. I love Mike.
I mean, Mike will move from this side to this side without you knowing exactly at which moment.
And out of nowhere, Tank decides to test physics by throwing punches that probably broke the sound barrier. The heavyweight. Let's just say he'll be tasting knuckle sandwiches for breakfast all week, and Jake Paul. He was in the corner looking like a kid watching his report card burn. Sources say he was this close to calling security. For his pride, this friendly spar has now exploded into chaos, leaked footage, wild reactions, and a wave of boxing legends chiming in. Welcome to the Punch Press, where drama gets uppercutted into reality. Buckle up. This is about to get uglier than Jake's last crypto investment. Let's set the scene. Jake Paul, the self-proclaimed problem child of boxing, thought he was just hosting another flashy sparring session to show the world that he's ready to take on the big leagues. Lights, cameras, PR teams. You know the usual Jake Paul setup, where every punch somehow ends up on Instagram before it even lands. But this time, the circus took a dark turn, because Gervonta Tank Davis showed up looking like he wasn't there to play. He was there to make history and headlines. From the moment Tank walked into that gym, the energy shifted. Trainers fell silent. Sparring partners suddenly remembered they had somewhere else to be. Even Jake's entourage started whispering like they just spotted a ghost. Tank wasn't smiling, wasn't joking. He was locked in, laser-focused, and radiating the kind of energy that says, I'm about to ruin somebody's week. Jake, on the other hand, strutted around like he owned the place. He's throwing air punches, joking with his crew, filming TikToks about how Tank better be ready for YouTube hands. Classic Jake, all confidence and camera angles. But when Tank laced up those gloves and nodded toward the heavyweight waiting in the ring, a man built like a refrigerator with arms, even Jake's grin started to fade. Now here's where things take a turn. This wasn't supposed to be. A fight was supposed to be light sparring, a little friendly test between pros, but the second the bell rang, Tank transformed. He wasn't sparring. He was sending a message. Each punch echoed like a thunderclap, and the heavyweight quickly realized he wasn't in a training session. He was in survival mode. You could feel the panic ripple through the room. Every camera phone suddenly zoomed in. Jake was pacing in the corner, trying to play it cool, but clearly sweating through his designer hoodie. One of his trainers whispered, "Yo, should we stop this?" Another muttered, "Bro, if you step in there, you'll need life insurance." Tank was relentless. Precision, power, pure violence wrapped in grace. It was like watching a lion maul a grizzly bear in HD. The heavyweight tried to push back, but every time he swung, Tank countered faster than a tweet goes viral. It wasn't a fight, it was a public service announcement. Word spread instantly. Within hours, leaked clips started circulating online. You can hear the gasps, the screams, the moment the crowd realized this wasn't a joke. Jake's face, frozen somewhere between awe and panic, became an instant meme. Twitter exploded with captions like, "Jake invited Tank to spar and accidentally hosted his own funeral." And here's the kicker. Insiders say Jake didn't expect Tank to actually show up. This was supposed to be a PR stunt, another piece of viral bait to boost hype for his upcoming fight. But Tank, he doesn't do PR, he does knockouts. He showed up ready to remind everyone who runs the fight game, even in slow motion. You can see the shift. The heavyweight's defense crumbles, Tank closes in, and that left hook, nearly lifts him off the ground. The gym fell dead silent. Jake's brother Logan apparently texted someone, "Yo, tell him to chill before someone ends up trending for the wrong reason." But the damage was done. Tank didn't just win the spar, he rewrote the power dynamics of celebrity boxing in one afternoon. And when Jake finally approached Tank after the session, cameras caught everything. Jake tried to laugh it off, saying, "Yo, Tank, you didn't have to go that hard." Tank smirked and replied, "That wasn't hard." The internet collectively lost its mind. Fans began dissecting every frame of the leaked footage like it was the Zapruder film. Some said Tank deliberately targeted the heavyweight to send a message to Jake. Others believe Jake's team leaked the footage themselves to stir controversy, because nothing sells fights like fear. But let's be honest, fear was written all over Jake's face. For once, the man who thrives on chaos looked like he wanted to disappear into the background. Even his fans started questioning if he really wants smoke with elite fighters. The same guy who once said, "I can beat anyone," suddenly looked like he wanted to take up golf instead. Meanwhile, Tank's camp was chilling, sipping smoothies, scrolling through memes, and laughing at the chaos they unleashed. Because make no mistake, this wasn't random. Tank's every move is strategic. He knew exactly what that footage would do: ignite headlines, dominate social feeds, and remind everyone that he's not just a lightweight champ, he's a menace across divisions. By the time ESPN and TMZ picked up the story, the internet had already crowned Tank the most feared man in boxing. Jake's team scrambled to spin the narrative, releasing statements like, "It was just a friendly spar," and "Jake respects Tank's skills." But no one was buying it. Not when the footage looked like an action movie gone rogue. And somewhere deep down, Jake realized he'd opened a door he couldn't close. Because when you play with lions for clout, sooner or later, one's gonna bite back. That sparring session wasn't just a fight. It was a cultural reset. It blurred the line between influencer boxing and real boxing, between entertainment and danger. Tank proved that he's not here for showmanship. He's here for legacy. And Jake? Well, he might be realizing that you can't Photoshop fear. But here's where things really explode, because the fallout from this spar didn't stay in the gym. Celebrities, fighters, and even comedians started jumping in with their own takes. Memes, podcasts, reaction videos, chaos everywhere. And that's where our story picks up next. Because what happened after the footage leaked makes the fight itself look tame. When that leaked clip hit social media, the internet didn't just react, it detonated. Within minutes, hashtags like Chandra Tank vs Heavyweight and Jake Paul Freak Out were trending worldwide. It looked like the entire planet had suddenly turned into a fight analyst. Twitter threads were breaking down punch angles. TikTokers were syncing Tank's hooks to drill sound effects, and YouTubers were calling it the most disrespectful sparring session of all time. And the memes, oh, they were ruthless. One had Jake Paul photoshopped hiding behind a punching bag with the caption, "When you realize content creation doesn't come with life insurance." Another showed Tank as Thanos, with Jake and the heavyweight fading into dust. Even Drake, who's usually neutral about boxing drama, liked to post saying, "Tank didn't come to spar, he came to collect souls." But the chaos didn't stop at jokes. It spiraled. Jake's camp went into emergency PR mode. They started releasing short clips trying to reclaim the narrative. Jake appeared in an Instagram live saying, "Yo, y'all gotta chill. It was just training. Tank's my boy. No bad blood." But the internet wasn't buying the buddy-buddy act. The comments were brutal. Fans flooding the chat with lines like, "Bro, your face said otherwise," and "You looked like you saw your career flash before your eyes." Meanwhile, Gervonta didn't say much. That's what made it even scarier. One cryptic tweet. Work is work. That's all. No hashtags, no emojis. Just 3 words that hit harder than his punches. And everyone knew what he meant. This wasn't personal. It was business. And business was booming. Then, the heavyweight from the viral clip came forward. In an interview that looked like a confessional, he admitted, "I've sparred with pros before. But Tank? That man's different. He wasn't sparring, he was testing limits. Every shot felt like getting hit with a car door." He even claimed his ribs were sore for days. The interviewer laughed nervously, probably wondering if he should call for medical help mid-interview. By now, even other fighters started weighing in. Ryan Garcia posted a tweet saying, "Tank been like that. People just learning the hard way." KSI chimed in with, "Jake better pray his fight stays in the influencer category, cause Tank ain't playing Fortnite out here." That one got over 500,000 likes. And when Floyd Mayweather reposted a clip of Tank's combo with the caption, "Sharp work," it was basically a royal seal of approval. The internet dubbed it Tank's coronation. Jake's reaction? A mix of denial and deflection. He released a vlog titled "Setting the Record Straight," trying to downplay the entire situation. He laughed it off, saying, "You're acting like Tank tried to end a man's life. It was friendly competition." But even in the vlog, you can hear how forced that laughter sounds. The man looked tired, like he hadn't slept since the clip dropped. Commentators weren't pulling punches either. Stephen A. Smith roasted the whole thing on ESPN, saying, "That wasn't sparring. That was a lesson in humility." Jake Paul might have the YouTube numbers, but Gervonta Davis has the hands. Shannon Sharp added, "Jake better stay in his lane before Tank puts him in another dimension." The audience erupted. Even the boxing purists who usually ignore influencer fights were tuning in. Because for once, the worlds collided. The YouTube spectacle met the raw brutality of real boxing. And it was ugly, beautiful, and viral all at once. But the biggest twist? Some insiders claimed Jake provoked Tank before the spar. Allegedly, Jake's team wanted to test how Tank handles pressure against bigger opponents. The rumor mill says Jake told someone, "Let's see if that power holds up against real size." Well, it held up. Too well, actually. A few leaked DMs even surfaced where Jake's assistant was texting another influencer. Tank took it personal. This wasn't supposed to go this far. The message spread like wildfire. Suddenly, the narrative shifted. This wasn't an accident. This was Tank's retaliation for being doubted. And while Jake's camp tried damage control, Tank's fanbase was throwing a digital parade. TikTokers started remixing his punches into rap beats. One viral edit had the caption, "When Tank swings, the Wi-Fi disconnects." The clip alone got 14 million views overnight. Now here's the wildest part. Sponsors started quietly distancing themselves from Jake's training event. A few brands pulled promotional material. Others delayed campaigns. One insider told a gossip site they didn't expect violence, they expected content. Translation: Jake's marketing moment turned into a full-blown PR nightmare. Still, Jake tried to pivot. He went on Logan's podcast Impulsive saying, "It's all love, man. Tank's a beast, but y'all know me. I don't back down." Logan tried to hype him up saying, "Yeah, but bro, he almost broke that dude in half." Jake smirked. Exactly. That's what makes it legendary. You could practically hear the nervous laughter behind the mic. Meanwhile, Tank was spotted leaving his gym 2 days later, completely unbothered. Reporters asked if he'd fight Jake Paul. His answer, "For what? That's not a fight. That's a payday for him and a highlight reel for me." The clip went viral instantly, collecting millions of views in hours. It was clear who won, and it wasn't Jake. The internet crowned Tank as the unofficial king of chaos. Even casual fans started calling him boxing's boogeyman. Every new meme, every edit, every clip. All of it kept pushing Jake deeper into humiliation. And just when it seemed like things might cool off, a new bombshell dropped. TMZ reported that Jake's team was considering cancelling his next sparring showcase for safety reasons. Safety. That word alone sent Twitter into meltdown. Fans flooded timelines with jokes like, "Jake's next fight will be against a punching bag with Wi-Fi." That was the final blow to his credibility. For years, Jake thrived on fearlessness, on calling out anyone, anywhere. But now, he looked cautious, calculated, and cornered. The once loudmouthed internet boxer was suddenly watching his every word. because one wrong move, and Tank might just show up again. It wasn't just a viral clip anymore. It was a shift, a moment that blurred the line between entertainer and athlete. Jake's illusion of dominance cracked, and Tank cemented his legend as the man who doesn't just fight opponents, he changes careers. But if you thought Jake was going to take the L quietly, think again. Because what happened next? It flipped the internet again. Just when everyone thought the drama was dying down, Jake Paul did what Jake Paul always does. He tried to turn chaos into content. A week after the sparring video dominated the internet, Jake dropped a slickly edited YouTube documentary titled The Truth About Gervonta Davis. The thumbnail? Jake staring dead into the camera with the caption, "He went too far." Instantly, millions clicked, and just like that, the circus was back in town. The video opened with moody lighting, slow motion clips, and Jake narrating like a war veteran. "I've been in this game long enough to know when something crosses the line," he said, his voice full of fake wisdom. This wasn't sparring. This was personal. Cue dramatic music and black and white footage of Tank landing bombs on the heavyweight. Jake's production team knew exactly what they were doing. Every sound effect, every replay, every slow motion shot made Tank look like the villain in a superhero movie. And Jake, of course, cast himself as the brave underdog fighting the system. But here's the thing, the internet didn't buy it. The comments section turned into a roast session. "Bro, you invited Thanos to spar and then cried when he snapped," one viewer wrote. Another said, "You're not the victim, you're the event organizer." Even Logan Paul tried to defend him on X Twitter, posting, "Y'all don't understand the pressure of being Jake Paul. He's building this sport." The top reply, "He's building hospitals for Tank's opponents." Savage. But then something unexpected happened. Footage leaked, again, this time from a different angle of the sparring session. It showed Jake laughing and egging Tank on before the chaos began. "Let's see that power, Tank. Show him what you got," Jake yelled. Fans paused, rewound, and replayed that moment 1,000 times. Suddenly, his victim narrative crumbled like wet paper. He wasn't blindsided. He invited the storm. By now, the story had evolved into a full-blown media war. Jake was posting explanations, Tank was posting cryptic messages, and boxing channels were milking every second. One YouTuber broke it down perfectly. Jake created the monster and then got mad when it didn't stay in its cage. Tank, still calm as ever, broke his silence in an interview with Fight Hype. When asked if he thought Jake disrespected boxing, he smirked and said, "He doesn't respect himself in the ring, so why would I?" That one-liner sent shockwaves. Within hours, it became a viral soundbite on TikTok. Every creator used it as background audio for their own memes. One clip even showed Jake punching air with the caption, "When Tank lives rent-free in your shadow." And while the internet laughed, Jake's sponsors got nervous. One energy drink brand quietly paused their upcoming campaign featuring Jake's grit and determination. Another pulled back on a live event appearance. In the world of influencer boxing, image is everything. And Jake's image was suddenly one of panic, not power. Then came the ultimate humiliation. During a live workout stream, fans flooded Jake's chat spamming "Tank's watching." It completely threw him off. He laughed awkwardly, tried to play it cool and said, "Yeah, tell Tank I'm ready anytime." But viewers could see it. The twitch in his expression, the flicker of unease. He wasn't joking. Tank had officially taken up permanent residence in his psyche. Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis was moving like none of it mattered. He posted training clips, flexing in silence while his fans flooded the comments with Tank time. He didn't need to say a word. His punches were doing all the talking. That's what made it worse for Jake. He couldn't out-talk someone who didn't care to talk back. Reporters began speculating about a potential mega fight. Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. Pay-per-view gold. The internet went wild debating it, even though everyone knew how it would end. Tank would turn it into a highlight reel faster than you can say clickbait. But Jake didn't say no. Why? Because deep down, controversy is his oxygen. Fear is just another headline. Still, the fear was showing. Behind the scenes, people close to Jake leaked that his camp was re-evaluating future sparring choices. One insider said, "Jake realized there's a difference between going viral and going to the hospital." The quote spread like wildfire. Even Tank reposted it with a laughing emoji. The memes reached a point of cultural domination. One TikTok edit showed Tank walking into Jake's gym with the caption, POV, when your Wi-Fi starts lagging because Tank's punches hit the router. It got 30 million views in a day. Twitter renamed the whole event the Spar of Doom. Reddit threads analyzed every punch frame by frame like it was the Zapruder film of boxing. Jake tried to pivot, again. He announced a Boxing Redemption tour where he'd fight a new lineup of influencers and prove he still runs the game. But fans didn't care. They only wanted one matchup, Jake versus Tank. Not for the sport, for the spectacle. For the moment when arrogance meets reality. In interviews, Jake tried to sound unbothered. Tank's doing his thing, I'm doing mine, he said. But his voice lacked the swagger it once had. It was like watching a lion roar after realizing the forest has a new king. The craziest twist came a month later. During a press conference for another event, Tank was asked if he'd ever fight Jake Paul. He chuckled, looked straight into the camera and said, "If he wants it, tell him bring a doctor." The crowd erupted. Even Jake couldn't ignore it. He tweeted back, "Careful what you wish for," followed by a boxing glove emoji. The internet exploded again. Round 2 of chaos had officially begun. By now, Tank had transcended the drama. He became a walking meme, a cultural icon of don't mess around if you can't back it up. Meanwhile, Jake was trying to rebuild his brand, but the shadow of that sparring day followed him everywhere. Even late-night talk shows joked about it. Jimmy Fallon quipped, "Jake Paul said the sparring was all love," which is funny, because love shouldn't send you to physical therapy. The audience lost it. Everywhere Jake went, someone whispered, "Tank." Every podcast, every live stream, every post, Tank's name loomed. It became the story that wouldn't die, because the internet doesn't forget humiliation. It archives it. And here's the final irony, that one day in the gym, meant to be a marketing stunt, became a cautionary tale. The influencer who tried to merge boxing with entertainment accidentally reminded everyone what real boxing looks like. Tank didn't just throw punches, he threw reality checks. By the time the dust settled, Jake's team had gone radio silent. His next fight announcement came and went with less hype. Meanwhile, Tank's legend only grew. He didn't need drama. He didn't need headlines. He just needed one sparring session to shake the industry. Because when Gervonta Davis steps into your gym, you don't just get content, you get consequences. And Jake Paul learned that the hard way, and there you have it. The sparring session that turned into a full-blown cultural earthquake. Jake Paul wanted clout, and ended up catching an entire career lesson instead. Gervonta Tank Davis didn't just land punches. He landed reality checks, sponsorship cancellations, and a lifetime supply of memes. Somewhere, Logan's probably still Googling how to delete the internet. But let's be honest, you loved every second of this chaos. The punches, the panic, the PR spin. It's like a Netflix docuseries with no off switch. And guess what? Around here at the Punch Press, this isn't a one-time thing. It's an every week kind of storm. Because in the world of combat clout, drama never sleeps. It just trains harder. So do yourself a favor. Hit that like button like you're Tank Davis, and it just disrespected your coach. Smash subscribe like it owes you money. Drop a comment down below and tell me, who do you think's really running this fight circus? Jake Content King Paul or Gervonta Nightmare Fuel